Okay guys, this is the mock-up parts that I got. Two housings, the left and the right. I've jimmied a headband onto it. It's just tacked on with blue tack, it's not doing anything. Obviously that type of thing is not especially representative of the final product, but it's good enough to give us some idea of what we're doing. Good. Built the driver into it, used putty to seal that in. I had one of these foam rings. This one is actually missing some adhesive. I experimented with it and I found that this doesn't really make a lot of difference, but the sealing is not too bad. It could be worse, needs to improve, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, I built in a microphone, a little electret microphone. It's obviously, again, it's not the one that's going to be used in production, which is a MEMS apparently, but it'll do the job. And mic preamp board, just to boost the signal. Housings on. The housings, of course, are quite leaky. Holes for hinge, whatever socket, and so on. But we'll see what we get out of it in that form. Okay, a bit of playing around. Got that set up on there. The pressure from the headband is probably a little bit higher than you would have from the actual headband, but it's good enough for this purposes. We'll plug that in. We need to plug our speakers in too. Okay, now this test profile is going to measure the frequency response of the drivers, and then the noise to feed forward mic and noise to measurement mic. Magnitude and phase of the driver frequency response. Two channels are not balanced. I'll have to have a look at that. I suspect that that driver cap is not well fitted on one side. We can check that out. But otherwise it's pretty much what you'd expect from something like that. The acoustic setup doesn't give you a lot to work with. So that's what it is. Then we measured the speaker noise to the measurement microphone. You get this function. Fine. Speaker to feed forward microphone, a function like this. Now this is what we call the transfer function of the housing, or feed forward mic to measurement mic, and so that's used in conjunction with the frequency response to determine the filter. And you tend to see something resembling the opposite of the driver response here, because you have the same housing resonances to work with. Good. And then we compute the ideal filter. Looks to me like there's certainly some problems because of these peaks and dips. It'd be very hard to generate anything useful for that. So essentially what we need to do is play around and see if we can really smooth that out. So it'll tend to have the same effect for frequency response and the housing transfer function. Okay, so maybe you're interested. I'll put the video on while we open this up. Plug these in too. plug that baby. We're going to need external speakers too. Good, let's see what we get out of that. Quite a substantial difference. Let's have a look at this frequency response again. We'll see if this is visible. Not at all. There we go. So which side is which side, I don't actually know, because I don't remember which way around I put them. Quickly do that. Okay, we're actually back to front. Doesn't matter, let's get that measurement again. Alright, so substantial difference now between the two. We have eliminated... Which side has the putty? I don't even know that. Doesn't matter. It's making a substantial difference, whichever side it is. Noise to air. So actually our yellow curve is smoother, generally speaking. We still have quite a lot of peaks and dips. So the ideal filter on the yellow side is getting better, getting closer. We still need to do something about kind of unwanted paths into the housing. Let's chuck a bit of putty over some of these holes and see what happens. And there too. Around. Yeah. I'll actually just grab a hold on those curves and see what we get. A very slight, no difference in frequency response actually. What about the filter? That is having a more substantial effect, especially in this critical area here. Okay, not bad. This is possibly not too bad in that range. If we can just smooth out the base. We don't have to map all of those peaks and dips exactly, as long as we're staying fairly close. We'll get something reasonable. It's looking a lot better once we're getting up to this 1K region. At least it's not bouncing around too much. So good overall, I'd say. We can play around with that indefinitely. But ultimately it's a waste of time unless it's something that the factory is actually building. Yeah. Pretty good. Okay, fine.